Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Trump, please step up to the congregation.
Yes, you are a
Trump. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
He's a jackass.
Yeah, it's dark here today for Monday, July 14th goes to President Donald J. Trump and the whole Trump administration, because they are doubling and tripling down on the lie that the Epstein client list doesn't exist. Now, if you haven't heard, the DOJ said they have no evidence that convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept the client list, or was murdered, even though they were the ones perpetuating that lie in the first place, okay? Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, said the files were sitting on her desk. Let's listen.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
Now they don't exist, allegedly. Donald Trump himself said on Fox News back in the day that he would declassify the Epstein files. Let's listen.
Declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he died. It would be interesting to find out what happened there because that was a weird situation and the cameras didn't happen to be working.
He sounded a little shaky, a little reluctant, but he never said back then that the files didn't exist, did he? Okay, you shouldn't have to sound that shaky about releasing something that doesn't exist. Now, this weekend, Donald Trump put up a long-ass post on Truth Social, and he blamed the Epstein files on, you guessed it, the Democrats. Yes, he said that the files were written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration. Let's go to MSNBC for the report, please.
Obviously, this is a story that has riled MAGA world over the past 3-4 days. And there seems to be an argument coming out of the White House that these files don't exist. And at the same time, the White House is saying this is all a setup. These files were all setups by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Those two things can't. We often say two things can be true at one time. Those two things cannot be true at one time. You cannot have files that do not exist that were set up by Barack Obama when, in fact, all of this happened years after Barack Obama, as far as the Justice Department launching the investigation happened a few years after Barack Obama was already golfing and windsailing and going on cruise ships.
Great point, Joe Scarborough. Okay, and never mind the fact that Epstein was arrested on July 6, 2019 when Trump was in office. Never mind the fact he killed himself on August 10th, 2019 while Trump was in office. I don't know what Democrats have to do with this, but you can't spin this as some Democratic hoax. Not when it was the MAGA crowd in the Trump administration who endorsed the Epstein client list to begin with. Now, I personally believe the reason the Epstein list didn't come out was because it would be mutually assured destruction for everybody. Democrats, Republicans, politicians in Israel, corporate CEOs, the royal family. If the Epstein flight logs are any indication, then this Epstein client list would hurt everybody. That's why Trump doesn't want to put it out, and that's why you never heard much about it from a certain class of Democrat. Okay, Biden was in office for 4 years. I never heard them talking about that Epstein list. Why? Because he probably had people on there he needed to protect too. Okay, the powerful protect the powerful, people. I feel like if they had Trump on the Epstein client list and just Trump and nobody they needed to protect, they would have let that list fly. But I am simply here to tell a lot of Democrats this morning, don't let go of the Epstein list, okay? I suspect it will be a lot of flooding of the zone from Republicans trying to get the Epstein list out of the headlines, but don't let it go. Okay, treat the Epstein client list the way MAGA treated the transgenders in sports issue. All right, don't ever stop talking about it, because the reality is the transgender in sports issue was one thing we all could agree on. Okay, MAGA could sound completely crazy about a number of things, but soon as they say men who have transitioned to women shouldn't be competing in women's sports, we all like, yeah, I agree with that. That's true. That's what this Epstein client list issue is for Democrats now. It's the only thing that can build a bridge between Democrats and the MAGA base. Okay, Dems have been trying to court the MAGA base. That's why Gavin Newsom will do a corny-ass podcast where he has to talk to both sides. Listen, if you really want to talk to the other side, then you have to talk about things the other side cares about. And you know what MAGA cares about? Conspiracy. The base of the MAGA movement is not conservatism, it's conspiracy and white supremacy. Okay, the same way Republicans and conspiracy theorists couldn't let go of Pizzagate and they demonized Democrats because they thought they were running a child sex ring out of the back of a pizza shop in D.C. is the same way Democrats should demonize any Republican acting like the Epstein list doesn't exist. Pour gas on the flames. Ask questions. Why is Pam Bondi lying to us? Why are pieces of the footage missing? It's the most impactful thing Democrats could be talking about, okay? The MAGA base didn't budge on the administration when they let Elon Musk take a chainsaw to government agencies, left so many government agencies functioning worse than they were before. The MAGA base don't care about people getting deported with no due process. They didn't care about the insurrection. None of that mattered to them. But this Epstein client list issue, oh, it does. And that's why Democrats should never stop talking about it. It's the only thing to lean into. It's no downside. Even if it is powerful Democrats on this list, so what? You're not protecting pedophiles. I would hope not. I saw Superman this weekend. In one scene, a guy goes, and I'm paraphrasing, Democrats and Republicans can both agree Lex Luthor is a traitor, or something like that. Well, guess what? Democrats and Republicans can both agree that there is a cover-up of the Epstein list. This is how you make a connection with the MAGA base, because both parties can agree it's an obvious cover-up. Okay, Democrats, there's nothing else to discuss. Don't blow the layup. I know y'all suck at messaging. Well, this is the message. Okay, you've been looking for your transgenders and sports issue? Well, here you have it. Every time Republicans try to turn the channel, turn it back. Okay, the only reason you wouldn't is because you trying to protect the pedophiles in your party, or the pedophiles that fund your campaigns, or the powerful pedophile politicians from other countries. But the moral of the story is we have no reason to protect pedophiles. And that should be the constant question to the Trump administration in regards to the Epstein files. Why are you protecting the pedophiles by telling us this client list or these Epstein files don't exist? Let's discuss. Please give Donald Trump and the Trump administration the biggest hee-haw.
Why?
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey of the day.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, during the latest...
Donkey of the Day is sponsored by renowned personal injury attorney Michael the Bull Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey when you need a fighter on your side. If you're ever injured, go to michaelthebull.com. That's michaelthebull.com. And when you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.